So you wake up every day and you kind of go like, I'm going to study after work. But by evening, some 10 hours are just gone. Calls, traffic, your manager, gossip, you name it. But finally, you get home and now it's time to prepare for CAT. You are hardworking, so you kind of sit down at your desk and you still try to get some work done. But nothing clicks. It's just that by the time you actually get to your prep, your brain is actually done. And somewhere between deadlines and dinner, you kind of start wondering, can someone with a full-time job even crack CAT? Can I do that? Yes, you can. But you're going to have to do things very differently than what others are doing. Now, who am I and why should you even listen to me, right? I cracked CAT in 2019, converted each and every single B school call that I got that year, and eventually joined I'm Good. I've also worked in front-end investment banking and I've closed deals to the tune of 2,500 crores. So I know a thing or two about working tight deadlines and maximizing productivity. Most of what I'm going to tell you is a product of all the mistakes that I've made over this time. I did not join a coaching or have an easy schedule, but I did have a system that was constantly evolving and that worked for me. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the exact 4-hour plan for weekdays that I used, which you can replicate and see the results for yourself. But do you know what does not require 4 hours or hard work? Hitting the like button. It helps the channel and the algorithm. Anyway, my biggest frustration was time nahi nikal pa raha hu. And every single person I asked for advice gave me some version of you need to manage your time better. Yeah, I was just as angry as you would be if someone gave you that advice because actionable nahi hai. At a high level, that is exactly what you need to do. It's just that you need to figure out a way to do it. I pretty much tried the same thing that I opened with. Sham ko padhte hain. Let me tell you the brutal truth. Evenings were absolutely horrible. रात को या तो नींद जल्दी आ जाती थी तो उसकी वजह से पढ़ाई नहीं हो पाती थी और या फिर नींद ही नहीं आती थी and both used to screw up the next day. नींद जल्दी आ गई तो गिल्ट में और अगर नींद नहीं आई तो दूसरे दिन नींद आएगी. So I thought, why not do something that I actually used to do when I was in college and exams used to roll around. Being unprepared for exams in college, what did we all used to do? Wake up early and study. I used to wake up 10-15 minutes before 4 a.m. and then I used to try to start studying by 4 and I would do this till 7. 4 से 7 3 घंटे मेरा मॉक भी हो जाता था उस टाइम में. Make that your critical study hour because guess what? उस टाइम पे the world is asleep. So there's no guilt, there's no spillover from anything that has happened during the day is yet to come. No one is asking you to come to a party. Your manager is not throwing more work on you. There are so many things that actually work for you if you start studying in the morning. You know, सुबह के 1 घंटे में जो अचीव करते हो ना वो शाम के 2 घंटे में भी करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. The second thing was use Pareto's principle. 20% of the topics will yield 80% of the marks. The guy who is not doing anything else while preparing for CAT has time on his or her side. But you have conviction. You somewhere along the way were confronted with reasons that actually compelled you to study for this exam while working full time. Needless to say, you do have conviction. Use those hours to deal twice the punch and you will catch up to them. So, what does Pareto's principle even mean? Spend 80% of your effort on 20% of those topics that are going to yield 80% of the marks. Let's move on to the second thing. I had a light day at work and काम पे बैठ के ना मैं बस ये सोच रहा था यार मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ. अभी मैं घर जाऊंगा शाम को एंड उसके बाद वहाँ पे मैं बहुत ड्रामा करूंगा कि यार मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, मैं टाइम नहीं निकाल पा रहा. बट अभी मेरे पास बहुत टाइम है एंड आई एम जस्ट सिटिंग देयर डूइंग एब्सोल्युटली नथिंग. आई थिंक आई एम जस्ट वेस्टिंग दिस. यूज दोस एम्प्टी स्पेसेस. लुक, योर वर्क डे is not wall to wall jam packed. I mean, come on, ये jam packed वाला सब कुछ MBA के बाद होता है. These are the cracks, these are the empty spaces that you actually need working for you. Use those 10 minutes, use the commute. I mean, metro लेते हो यार, पढ़ लो metro में. क्या करोगे? There's nothing to see that you haven't seen before. You use this time for light revision. Maybe you solve an RC, maybe you carry your flashcards. If that's something that you can't do, screenshots ले लो यार. अपने फोन पे स्क्रीनशॉट्स लो. मेरे सारे नोट्स के स्क्रीनशॉट्स रखने लगा था मैं अपने फोन पे and I used to look at them whenever I would get an empty space like that. Instagram scroll करने की जगह ना इनको ताड़ना शुरू करो. Because guess what? 3 high active recall breaks a day. If you don't know what active recall is, I have explained spaced repetition and active recall as the 2 absolute beasts of techniques that you can actually use to really fast track your prep in this video. You can check that out. Let's do some arithmetic. 3 10-minute breaks a day, total of 30 minutes towards CAT prep. Now do it for 1 month and boom, you've suddenly squeezed 15 extra hours in. That is phenomenal. काम के बीच में अगर तुमने अपने लिए टाइम चुराना सीख लिया ना तो कैट समझ लो आधा तो वहीं पे हो गया, बिकॉज दिस इज एक्चुअली ए स्किल और इसकी इंपॉर्टेंस ना तुम्हें जब तुम काम करने जाओगे एमबीए के बाद तब पता चलेगी। ठीक है, सुबह पढ़ लेते हैं, काम के बीच में से टाइम निकाल लेते हैं, तो शाम को क्या, शाम को फ्री? नॉट एग्जैक्टली, यू विल बी टायर्ड। सो evenings are not for fresh learning. Make them for revision. Make them for reinforcement. Look at the mistakes that you made this morning. क्या गलत हुआ, क्यों गलत हुआ, क्या यहाँ पे कोई ट्रिक दिख रही है मेरे को जो मैं लगा सकता हूँ या फिर सीख सकता हूँ जो मैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चंस में लगाऊं जिससे कि आगे काम आसान हो जाए? कुछ है ऐसा क्या? It is this kind of analysis that is going to eventually feed the system that builds pattern recognition in your brain. That is going to train you to spot those kind of questions that are low-hanging fruits in the exam or questions that you absolutely must not attempt as well. Analysis is super critical and it is imperative that you start doing this because now is exactly the time when you need to. Also, there's one popular technique called the Feynman's technique, and it basically goes something like, if you have learned something today, then try to teach it to someone else. You can try teaching it to your wall. I used to teach it to Snowy, as silly as it sounds, and then go to sleep by 9 p.m. However, that alone is still not enough because every session needs a clear objective. Because if you are following, say, a spaced repetition or something, you need an objective. So usually the way we kind of go about setting these goals for ourselves is something like, दिन में मेरे को 4 से 7 3 घंटे मिल रहे हैं, 2 घंटे में अरिथमेटिक करता हूँ और 1 घंटे VARC का कुछ देख लूंगा। Please don't set goals like this. None of this is even measurable. वो टाइम का करोगे क्या अगर उसमें कुछ improvement नहीं हुआ? Make your goals specific and measurable. Something like, okay, मेरे पास 2 घंटे हैं, so I'll attempt 20 arithmetic questions that I was not able to solve yesterday. By the end of these 2 hours, for each of these questions, I will know इसको छोड़ना है, शुरू में करना है, कैसे करना है, या फिर इसको deprioritize करना क्या है. This makes whatever you're doing not only specific but measurable. So now you have a benchmark that you've set for yourself. Without measurable goals, you will always feel as if you're doing a lot, but not getting anywhere because you have not set those goals for yourself. But there's one thing that screws with goals like nothing else, and that is social media. Apps these days are filled with attention ads that are designed to maximize the time you spend on those apps. Good for them, but not so much for you. दूर कर दो थोड़ा सोशल मीडिया एप्स को। मेरा रूल ये था कि जब मुझे कैट के लिए पढ़ना है उस टाइम द फोन इज गोइंग टू बी ऑन साइलेंट एंड इट्स गोइंग टू बी इन द नेक्स्ट रूम। बिकॉज बहुत लोग ना फोकस की बात करते हैं कि फोकस नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, जब बैठता हूँ तो दिमाग इधर उधर जाता है and all that, but focus is not a talent. फोकस बनने में एक बहुत बड़ा पार्ट इन्वायरमेंट का भी होता है। वो इन्वायरमेंट बनाओगे ना जिसमें तुम फोकस स्टडी कर पाओ तो कर भी पाओगे। एंड प्लीज रात को सोने से पहले फोन यूज करना बंद कर दो यार। दैट इज द नंबर 1 वे हाउ पीपल काइंड ऑफ एंड अप स्क्रूइंग अप देयर स्केड्यूल्स बिकॉज फोन्स में से ब्लू लाइट निकलती है व्हिच काइंड ऑफ मेसेस विद मेलाटोनिन व्हिच इज द हार्मोन दैट रेगुलेट्स स्लीप. Because you're preparing while working full-time, the one thing that you don't have is time. So, you don't have the luxury of structuring your prep like, पहले मैं एक काम करता हूँ, मैं 1.5 महीना लेता हूँ सिर्फ कॉन्सेप्ट्स करने के लिए, उसके बाद फिर मैं क्वेश्चंस पे आऊँगा, उसके बाद मैं अपने नोट्स रिवाइज करूँगा and all that, and उसके बाद फिर हम full-fledged तरीके से एग्जाम्स देंगे, मॉक्स देंगे. I mean, you don't have this luxury. So, instead of training yourself like that, you need to prepare for the exam. तुम्हें नंबर लाने हैं. प्रोफेसर बनने की कोशिश मत करो यार, वो नहीं कर पाओगे इतने कम टाइम में. नंबर्स में खेलो. 2 mocks at least every week, non-negotiable, fully timed, no phone. Don't look at just the questions. उसमें तरकीब ढूंढने की कोशिश करो. क्या ऑप्शंस लगाकर किसी एक टाइप के क्वेश्चंस में आंसर जल्दी आ जाते हैं? क्या ऑप्शंस पहले एलिमिनेट हो सकते थे? क्या लॉजिकली सिर्फ एक ही ऑप्शन फिट होता था? I mean, start using these things because these will save you a lot of time. So एक बार देखना शुरू करो चीजों को ऐसे. I know शुरू में you will get most things wrong, but if you train yourself like this, eventually you will also train yourself to figure out कि ऐसी situations में चीजों को जल्दी और सही कैसे करते हैं. This is one of those things that made one of the biggest differences there was. If you do all these kind of things, you'll notice something shift within just 2 weeks. You will stop chasing motivation because it will automatically come to you. The moment you start improving, you start getting motivated. And the moment you are motivated, it becomes easier to be consistent. With this system, you're going to wake up, you're going to prepare for CAT, and then you go to work. And even at work, you're basically going to be taking time out for your prep, for your future. So you will feel a lot more relaxed with this as well, which is kind of critical with this kind of an exam. If this helped you breathe a little bit easier, hit the like button and share this with a friend who's going through the same things. Also, if you're interested in more content like this, then subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. Good luck.